How we doing this week?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. First of all, phone sounds great. I appreciate that. I'm always a little hesitant, if we're being honest, to start off after a loss with how you doing this week. Like, it seems like the courteous thing to do as a human being. Is your emotion adversely affected by losses? Like, as of today, because you lost yesterday, are you kind of in a bad mood?
I mean, it's the game of football. Of course, we don't want to lose. We go out there every single Sunday trying to win and everything, but we take them as lessons. Things that we that we do good. We need to keep doing them, and then the things that can get you beat. We got to make sure to adapt and change them.
Marcus, what would you say went into your adjustments from early in the game when Pittsburgh seemed to be able to make their way down the field, whether they got the ball via turnover or not? They make their way down the field seemingly easy, and then all of a sudden you guys adjust, and they're not able to do much of anything late in the second quarter, well into the second half. What was the defensive adjustment you guys made that were so effective?
Yeah, we just needed to basically settle down. I mean, Braves was, talking to us and letting us know, play our style of football and just settle down. And, whenever we played great team defense, it showed towards the second half of, whenever we play our football, we play great together. So,
Marcus, when a team has Aaron Rodgers and we think of Aaron Rodgers, is that the same guy? I guess my question is that we've always kind of attributed the skills of Aaron Rodgers. Does he still bring the same challenges for a defensive back and a defense to the table?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a veteran quarterback and you've seen a lot of defenses and, all of these things and stuff, you never take it for granted, no matter how many years a person has been in the league or, things like that. But he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, no ifs, ands, buts about it. But, yeah, we make sure to, we have to disguise, when it comes down to quarterbacks like that and try to make it difficult for them.
Marcus, so what would you say is like the emotional response of the defense when the team turns the ball over? Is it, do you guys just not get frustrated because you're back out on the field quicker than you imagined? Or is it more of a, come on, guys, we got to go do everything we can to get them the ball back again? What's that feeling like on the sideline when you take the field again?
Yeah, it's that second part. As a defense, we basically put out fires. I mean, that's our thing. So our thing is get the ball back to our offense, so then our offense can put points on the board. So we don't look look into that too much. And, if they get the ball at the 1 yard line, we don't want them to score. Get the ball back to the offense and kind of go from there. So we always got their back.
Patriots captain and defensive back Marcus Jones here with us on WEEI Afternoons on a Patriots Monday. Is it important for you as a leader or just a good teammate to make sure that there isn't some sort of divide? Because, we as outsiders look at that game and go, the offense kept turning the ball over and they put the defense back on the field. But is it important as a team leader to make sure there is no divide in that sense?
Yeah, very important. I mean, when it comes down to all three phases, it's very important that it's a team thing. It's a team effort because when special teams is doing good, then that's good. When the offense is doing good, that's good. When defense is doing good, everything, it all collects together because whenever one phase isn't doing as good, the other phase tends to, help out. So it's never really the divide. We've been, with each other for the sense of OTAs, training camp, and we built that relationship with each other to where we want to play harder for the person that's next to us. And we just kind of take that into account whenever we're going out there on the field. And like I said, man, we're a family, and we're always trying to make sure to have each other's back.
Did Pittsburgh do anything that caught you guys off guard yesterday? Anything that you didn't see on tape? Or did you feel, given the unique situation with a temporary play caller in place of your defensive coordinator, that you weren't ready for?
I wouldn't say it was a whole bunch of different things. I mean, it's still early in the season. It was only the third game, so, we tried to make sure that we accounted for a lot of different things. We made sure to account for, we know that they like to get on the ball fast, try to get us out of whack and things like that. So we took that into account. And then, Wildcat, they ran Wildcat one play and everything in the game that I know of, so.
Marcus, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I got to ask you about that penalty that was called on you. A screen play where you try to go through the blocker to make the tackle. You were called for going low on the blocker, but it also seemed like that was also your angle. You're allowed to tackle guys in the legs. I guess what's the coaching point there? What can you do differently there? Because that seemed like that must have been a frustrating call.
Yeah, first off, my main thing was trying to get the tackler. I was definitely going in for a tackle, but at the end of the day, the ref called the flag, and we know that we can't cut outside, which I wasn't intending to do it, but the ref called it, and that's the play. So I just got to take account and know, and that just can't happen again.
Marcus, how is that relationship working now with Zach? He's called the games 2 weeks in a row for you guys. And how are things working out during the week when you guys get to? Because Coach Vrabel said this morning Terrell Williams is involved during the week, but isn't able to work the games for you guys on the weekends. How are things working with this unique situation?
It's going great. Like I've said before, Zach, he's a valuable piece to the defense, and so is T. Their way of messaging to us is great, and they prepare us every single week with the things that we need to look forward to each game and everything like that. So I feel like they're both doing their part for sure.
You mentioned penalties, and in your specific one, if they call it, you got to figure out a way to play it differently, not get it called. In general, you guys have been penalized a lot, all three phases, not just on defense. What's the approach as a team? Because it just feels like it's too many penalties early in the season, and that's not a good plan for winning football.
Yeah, the main thing is that we have to play smart, play our style of football, penalty-free. Rays talks about it a lot, about penalty-free. You have to understand every single week there will be different, crews and referees and stuff, but you got to take account to know what type of refs that you're going into every week. And, if they call certain calls, we have to take account for it and then play within the rules.
Marcus, obviously, Ramondre had a tough day yesterday with the two fumbles as well. What was the locker room like afterwards? Did you guys motivate him, help him out, bring it? He was hard on himself, obviously, but just curious what it was like afterwards and if you had a chance to speak with him.
Yeah, I definitely talked to Mondre. Mondre, he's my dog, first off, and he's a great player as well. We definitely understand the sense, especially since I've been here for about, it's my fourth year. And I've seen Mondre, the highs and the lows and everything like that. And like I said, man, he's a great NFL premier running back. And he understands the situation of, holding on to the ball and all those things. But the main thing is that I want him to keep that confidence and everything like that, which he has it and stuff. But, it's great to end up seeing that, we could talk to him and he understands and stuff like that, because confidence is a lot whenever it comes down to this game. And I know he's going to get back on track, and we're going to do what we have to do to protect the guy with the ball as well and go from there. So he's going to be right.
Patriots cornerback Marcus Jones here on a Patriots Monday, WEEI Afternoons. One of the numbers that's been thrown about quite a bit today is the idea that I believe you guys are 3-16 in your last 19 games at Gillette Stadium. Coach Vrabel made some comments this morning about you got to fix that. You got to find a way to fix that. Do you feel like you have a home field advantage, or how do you make it feel like you have a home field advantage?
Yeah, I feel as though that we do have a home field advantage. First off, I commend all of the fans and everything and all the support that comes to the stadium and make it hard for the opposing teams. But yeah, like Brave said, we definitely need to turn that back around and everything, and stop having mental errors, and we got to make sure we play penalty free, and whenever we do that, then we'll end up changing that into some wins instead of losses. So
Marcus, last week your teammate, secondary mate Christian Gonzalez returned to the practice field in a limited capacity. Unfortunately, was ruled out Saturday. How's he looking? How's he feeling? I'm not asking you to make a prediction whether he plays or not this week, but what was it like at least having him back there out on the practice field with you?
Yeah, it was great having him back out there. We've played, plenty of seasons and everything like that with each other, and it's great to end up having him out there just from the fact of, communication piece and stuff, and then, also just, having fun out there on the football field. So, it was great having him back out there.
All right, Marcus, appreciate you joining us after a tough loss. Good luck against the Panthers on Sunday. Hopefully it's a chance for us to talk after a win next Monday.